The fire cracked. Not loudly, just enough to sound like something breaking. And in that quiet, heavy moment, the old tortoise lifted his head slowly, as if he had been waiting his whole life to say what came next. The town never slept. It breathed. Footsteps rushed across dusty paths, voices rose and fell like restless waves, and somewhere between survival and ambition, families built futures out of hope and fear. At the edge of it all, where noise softened into silence, stood a low, sturdy home carved into the earth. That was where he lived. The tortoise. Slow in movement, but frighteningly sharp in mind. And tonight his eyes carried weight. "Sit," he said quietly. His children obeyed. 4 sons, 3 daughters, no longer little, not yet wise. Their mother moved gently between them, setting down bowls of steaming food, their favorites. The air filled with warmth, but something else lingered beneath it. Tension, the kind that comes before truth. The tortoise took a long breath. "My children," his voice was calm, but it cut through the night. "Adulthood is not kind to the unprepared." Silence. Even the fire seemed to listen. He turned to his sons first. "Marriage," he said, "is not a game of pleasure. It is a responsibility. Before you touch love, build safety. Before you think of children, prepare a future." One of the sons shifted uncomfortably. Another avoided his gaze. The tortoise noticed, but continued. "If you bring life into chaos, you create suffering, not family." Then he turned. His eyes softened, but only slightly. "My daughters," they leaned in. "What kind of man would make your heart stay?" Fito spoke first, almost instantly. "I want a strong man," she said, her voice bright, "as strong as a lion." The firelight danced in her eyes. The tortoise nodded slowly, but said nothing yet. Seaton smiled, folding her arms with confidence. "I want a rich man," she added, "one with houses everywhere, comfort, security." A faint grin crossed her lips. Still, the tortoise remained quiet, watching. Then came Hitomi. She didn't rush. "I want a man," she said gently, "who will stand with me when things are hard, someone who plans, someone who loves with truth." The room stilled. That answer lingered. The tortoise leaned forward. Now the fire reflected in his eyes. "Good," he said softly. "Very good." Then his tone changed, sharper. He looked at Fito. "You want strength?" he asked. She nodded eagerly. "What happens," he continued, voice tightening, "when danger comes that strength cannot fight?" Fito blinked. Silence. "I am not strong," the tortoise said, tapping his shell lightly, "but I survived." His voice dropped. "Because I learned when to hide, when to wait, and when to move." He leaned closer. "Strength without wisdom will lead you into battles you cannot win." Fito's smile faded. He turned to Seaton. "And you," he said, almost gently, "you want wealth." Seaton lifted her chin. "Yes." "What happens," he asked, "when wealth disappears?" Her confidence flickered. Riches are not protection, the tortoise continued. They are responsibility. His voice grew deeper. If you do not understand patience, if you do not know how to rebuild, then wealth will leave you the moment life becomes difficult. Seton swallowed hard. Finally, he faced Hitomi. There was a pause. Then something rare, a small, proud smile. You understand, he said. Love is not excitement. It is agreement. It is planning. It is truth spoken even when it hurts. Hitomi lowered her eyes slightly, humbled. The tortoise stood, slowly, deliberately, and when he spoke again, his voice carried the weight of lived years. Listen carefully, all of you. Husband and wife must think of tomorrow more than today. They must protect what they build. They must grow what they have. And above all, he paused. The fire cracked again. They must love each other enough to wait. The children were still. No one moved. No one breathed too loudly. If your home is not safe, he continued, do not invite children into it. If your minds are not ready, do not chase pleasure. His eyes hardened. Because bringing life into an unprepared world is not love. It is suffering. He stepped back, his shell catching the firelight. We did not rush, he added quietly, glancing at his wife. We built slowly, carefully. She smiled, her eyes full of memory. And that, she said softly, is why you are all here, safe. The silence broke. But this time, it wasn't tension. It was understanding. The children looked at one another. Then, as one, they turned back to their father. Thank you, Papa, they said, not casually, not lightly, but like people who had just seen the future and decided to respect it. The fire burned low, the night deepened, and the old tortoise finally rested his voice. Moral lesson: do not choose a life partner based on strength or wealth alone. Choose wisdom, patience, and true love. Because a strong home is not built by power or riches, but by planning, protection, and partnership. Thanks for watching. Mama Panda loves you.